For today's review, I'm going to be talking about Rain Man. This is 1988's winner for Best Picture of the year. This also won for Best Director, Barry Levinson. He's a great director, so I'm glad he won for this. Also starring Tom Cruise, Dustin Hoffman, great in their performances, and a great supporting performance by the wonderful, the amazing, the beautiful Valeria Golino, who's great in her role. Now, this movie, I mean, at the time, and still today, really, there is kind of a stigma and misunderstanding of autism and what exactly it is, and how exactly this disorder affects people. So in some ways, this is trying to shed a little bit of light on that, but also at the same time, perhaps inadvertently, it does somewhat contribute to the misunderstanding of it. This is an extreme case, and this is, while it's not technically a true story, it is based on real accounts and real extreme cases of autism. Where the mathematical abilities of this character, Raymond Babbitt, played by Dustin Hoffman, are just uncalculable. Basically, I mean, aside from all that, I mean, this isn't a documentary. This is a drama. This is a fictionalized story. And where it really shines and what it really is ultimately about is about the bond between two brothers who, at least in Charlie's case, played by Tom Cruise, had no idea of the other's existence. So what kind of sets the plot of Tom Cruise is playing Charlie? He's, go-go 80s kind of stereotype. He works restoring classic cars. He's in debt way over his head. Then he learns the news that his father has passed, and as they're estranged and have some bad blood, bad history, it's kind of a final slap in the face. He leaves him nothing in his will and leaves his money to a beneficiary who is not named. It would turn out that the beneficiary is at this care center, and not directly, but the beneficiary is the head of the center, but it's really in Raymond's name. And so this, of course, pisses Charlie off quite a bit, and in so many ways he kidnaps him, and that's kind of about their road trip. So it kind of starts out with Charlie feeling that this is my right. I deserve this money. I'm going to basically hold my brother ransom. But then it moves beyond that. It does move into their bonding, which is a beautiful and moving tale about these two brothers and kind of how you would kind of imagine this may have been the father's plan, beyond the grave, reuniting these two brothers. So it is a beautiful love story between, two brothers, and how they get to know each other, and how Charlie, with his patience always running out, kind of learns to understand his brother a little bit better, and how Raymond, brought entirely out of his comfort zone, he kind of has this adventure, which is pretty cool. They go on the road trip. They go to, I don't think it's Vegas, I think it's Atlantic City, that they go to, and he gambles. There's the famous scenes where he's gambling, and he can count the cards. Not too good at the wheel though. But we've seen that parodied, something like The Hangover. They kind of parodied that. With the card counting. So I think it's a great movie about this brotherly bond that forms between the two. Hoffman's performance in particular is stellar. Just an absolute triumph from this actor. It is done with respect, but it is done with kind of a flair to it, where it's this iconic and famous performance, probably one of his best known performances. I would hope with respect enough to the disorder, people will do the Rain Man impression. Definitely time for Wapner. 5 minutes to Wapner. It became this iconic performance, and this really enthralling, engaging, capturing performance from such a great actor. He won Best Actor for the Academy Award for Best Actor too, so very well deserved. Such a great performance. And Tom Cruise, he's great in this movie too. I mean, this was really right at the height of his blossoming career. This was what kind of made him from just movie star to legitimate actor, I think. This among other roles. I mean, just a year later, he would come to great acclaim in Born on the Fourth of July, where he was nominated for an Oscar too. So I think they're both great, and the chemistry between the two is just undeniable. And there's beautiful scenes with Valeria Golino too, where they're in the elevator and they're dancing and they kiss. I think it's a great moment. Lots of great moments in this movie. So it's a really attention-grabbing drama, and it's a real, at the heart of it all. I mean, it is sort of about life and slowing down and not kind of grasping onto material things too much. Look, the interesting thing about the character of Raymond is that he has this mathematical ability for calculations. A human calculator. Give him any number, drop a bunch of toothpicks. He's going to count it. He'll know. But he has no concept of money, which is the great irony. The doctor says to him, if I have $1 and I spend 50 cents, how much do I have left? He's like, 75 cents? And he doesn't know. Meanwhile, it's like, what's 855,000 times 852 or whatever? He'll get it in like 2 seconds. But, I mean, that's the irony. He doesn't understand the concept of money. He has all this money inherited, and he has no need for it whatsoever. So, meanwhile, Charlie's like, I need the money. So it's about that, and kind of learning about what the truly valuable things in life are, but not in a cheesy kind of way. There's no big speech about, like, oh, well, I wanted all this money, but now I've learned to love you. You're the greatest gift of all, brother. Yeah, nothing that cheesy, but you feel that, and you feel the bond between the two, which I think is important. Great movie. I would say it's not without its flaws. I mean, there's very few flaws, but some parts a little bit dated, things like that. Feels kind of super 80s, which, I mean, we can't fault it for because it was made in the 80s. One thing that does kind of bug me about this movie, I was watching it recently to kind of get it fresh in my mind, and one thing that I noticed in the ending of the movie, Raymond, he goes off on the train, and we see Charlie kind of just watching off in the distance. I don't know what it is. I think maybe they wanted the shot to linger a little bit more. But if you watch carefully, the very last shot of the movie, it looks like they're looping it a little bit. I don't know. That kind of bugs me. I rewound it. I'm like, what's going on here? Anyway, whatever. Did it deserve to win Best Picture? That's hard to say. I mean, I think it's a great movie. Absolutely fantastic movie. And I was trying to think of the other movies nominated that year. There was, I think, Working Girl was nominated. Mississippi Burning. I'm not quite sure what else was nominated that year, but 1988, such an incredible year for movies. Like, go on IMDb right now, search the year 1988. So many great movies of all different genres were released in that year. I don't even say if I were caught in a time warp, had to be in one year for movies, maybe it'd be 1988. So it's hard to say. But I'm very glad that Barry Levinson won an Academy Award. I think he's a great director. Bugsy, Get Shorty. Even though he does have an Oscar, he's kind of underrated. And I think just recently, well, a few years ago, he did the brilliant You Don't Know Jack with Al Pacino. So I think he's a great director. And, of course, Dustin Hoffman, he's great. Well-deserved of the Academy Award. An iconic performance. Probably this will be, I would say, if not his most remembered performance in the grand scheme of things, definitely at least top 3 best Dustin Hoffman performances. So definitely good performance, definitely. That's my review of Rain Man, a classic. You gotta check it out if you haven't already. A very moving drama with great performances and a great story about brotherly bonds. So I think it's a great film. So that'll be my review. Thanks very much for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment too, please. What do you think of Rain Man? More reviews to come this month, 31 Days of Oscars, so stay tuned for all that. Till then, see you later.